Luka's Kids, it's Luka's Kids, it's Luka's Kids.
Well, hey there, boys and girls. Welcome back to another special edition of Luka's Kits. Why I say special edition? I don't know. I just felt like it. Trying something a little different. I'm going to show you guys a kit that many of you might have overlooked just because it is a easy kit. Or should we say a snap kit. Non-gluing kit. Simple, toy-like kit. It's marketed more towards kids, you can tell that. And when you build it, it's actually a very durable model that it can be played with. But it is the best representation, I should say the only representation, of a 77 Monte Carlo, which is a very popular car, especially for the NASCAR builders. It was a car that was raced in NASCAR quite a bit, and a lot of guys take this body and do the changes to make a stock car out of it, stock car race car I should say, but also it does build into a very nice looking street car. You could probably do some kit bashing with some other kits to make it a little more accurate model, cut the hood out, all that other stuff, but we're just going to take a look at this kit. There's not a lot in it because again it's very simplified, so let's take a look at it. The side box art, it's pretty simple, but you get a look at what the car is and the chassis, and it actually, you know, it looks pretty accurate representation of the chassis. You can see some screw holes in there, being again more geared towards being toy-like, but an extremely accurate toy. Okay, starting off with the instructions, of course, very simple. Gives you a little rundown of the 1977 Monte Carlo right there for you kiddies who don't know anything about the car. And pretty much simple steps, step by step, all the way through to the end right there on one big page. Not a lot of parts, not a lot of problems. Goes together very well. And you can have fun with it and throw it down the hallway and let it crash into the wall. I mean, that's what these models are all for, right? Firecrackers, blow them up. Let's have a good time. They're toys, right? It's not really decals, it's more like peel off stickers, but you got some graphics to throw on there if you care to do so. Now here's the rock star out of the kit. It is the body. It's what it's for. Again, you can get a hold of this kit and do many things with it if you want to go a little more advanced modeling, because you got a very accurate 1977 Monte Carlo right here. And again, I have gotten a few of them for this very reason, is to make old stock cars out of them. Just a little bit of work. The only big bummer is it's got the Landau top. Depending on what you're building, some guys would be really happy that it has a Landau top. For the stock car guys, you're going to have to get some sanding happening, but it comes off pretty easy. You sit there, watch television, sand it off, it'll be gone in no time. Of course, the hood is molded on, being a simplified snap kit. But really, you've got a very, very good looking 1977 Monte Carlo there. Interior tub, pretty basic, back seats molded in. It's ready to go. And then you've got your door panels that just snap right in. I'm going to snap one in right now, just to show you. Boom, snap. You didn't even hear a snap, and it's in, and it won't fall out. No glue needed. So then there's no harmful vapors for the children to breathe in. You don't have to paint it. It's this lime green. There's another version that's a blue. That was the earlier version. And you can paint it any color you want if you choose to do so. Now the chrome tree, again, a lot of the stuff is taken off. When I got this kit, it was already kind of pulled off the trees and all that. I think I got it either in a collection or I bought it, you know, used from the swap meet. But the bumpers, they're nice Monte Carlo bumpers, grill, the headlights, and it does have separate clear lenses to go in there. That's on the clear tree, you'll see in a little bit. There's a kind of a little pop-in shifter right there. There were the wheels on here, but they had been taken off, and I'll get to that in a moment. Again, moving along with the interior, there is your center console and your seats. Actually, they're pretty accurate to what the seats in those Monte Carlos were. And you have also this back piece. You got two of these that go right on. And makes you a pretty good looking seat. That's a good 70s GM seat that you could use in other kits too. That's actually worth to hold on to if you were not going the out of the box way with this. Pretty decent dashboard. That's pretty much what the dashboard looked like out of these cars. And it even has really good gauge engraving. If you've got a real good steady hand and can get in there and paint that, you can make a very good looking dashboard. A little bulky looking, but this pretty much looks like the steering wheels from back in the day. A little bit bulky on the steering wheel thickness, but it looks pretty decent. Well, here's your basic chassis plate. It's got, you know, the molded in transmission and engine and the molded in exhaust. The suspension is all separate, and there's something pretty neat about the suspension that we'll get to here shortly. And here's your front and your rear suspension. Simplified, very simple. Doesn't look very accurate, but here's the neat thing about this that is pretty cool. This is designed to be like a lowrider, is what it's marketed towards. So they did kind of a simplified lowrider chassis suspension on this to get different ride heights. And that's what these notches here, it pops into the chassis, and you see this hole right here. There's this little nub right here, or pop it right in there. You have your basically your hinge system here, that there's a piece that clips on and holds over it, and you can raise and lower and lock it into place of how high you want your suspension to go. And you've gotten clear red. You've got your tail lights, pretty typical Monte Carlo tail lights, look correct. And remember I told you that you had separate headlight lenses, which is very cool. Just makes it look a little more real. So you got your typical GM bullet mirrors that were on all the cars back in the 70s, and that just pops right onto that body. The wheels and tires, they're all four are the same. So here's one put together, kind of narrow tires, and they went with kind of a more modern, wider wheel. Guess going more for that lowrider look. It's actually a pretty neat looking tire, nice engraving of the tread pattern. These wheels also look pretty cool for certain types of vehicles. You might want to use it on something else. Not a bad wheel and tire to have in your parts box for something later too, if you decide to go somewhere different with this kit. So they're worth holding on to. It comes with a couple of screws. I might as well show that to you. And the metal axles. There's your glass. You got your front and your back and your side opera windows right there. All pops right up in there and takes care of that. Even has, for some reason, molded on here the sun visors. So there you have it. A nice little easy snap kit, but it does make a very accurate car. It really does fit a very good slot in the model car world, so I highly suggest it. It really does build up into a nice looking kit. Or again, you can use the body and some of the other parts towards building a pretty good, accurate, detailed replica, or again going with building a 70s NASCAR stock car, race car. Great body to start with right there. So anytime you see these, now you know what they're like on the inside. Pick them up, enjoy it, have fun, and we'll see you in the next video.